And I would never, ever joke about somebody with an illness or a disease or something that they can't control.
I mean, it was patchy, but it wasn't nappy.
I'm still a very, very good person.
DJ Daniel, he was a 13-year-old
little
kid.
boy.
Yeah, that was given a Secret Service clearance.
The little 30-second clip of her saying that really, really effed up stuff, I couldn't find the whole video. I found parts of it where Breakfast Club clipped out that part, so I had to re-put that together, and this is what we got to watch. So let's go.
Last night during the State of the Union address. Let's take a listen to that.
DJ Daniel, he is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
That was a great moment.
That was dope.
And then it was like Rafiki holding up Simba. Remember, he picked him up and held him up.
The fact that I believe it was only one Democrat stood up and like cheered or was happy for him shows you that no matter what Trump do, they're gonna hate him. Like, he could cure cancer and they still would be like, oh my goodness, he's evil. I'm like, this is why the Democrats, like, no one want to join that party. But like, you don't like anything he did? You can't say one thing he did? Like, come on, really? Like, come on. But let's go.
His father picked him up.
And
Yeah,
excited. DJ held up the badge, and when Trump announced it, DJ's face was looking like, for
really?
real? Like,
He
is this happening?
He said, damn.
Yes.
He asked the agent, "Can I hug you?" It looked like he hugged the agent. He was really happy,
when he
man.
hugged Sean Kern, I was like, oh, like I literally said, oh, and I'm like, there's no way that anything like this can be made bad at all.
That
and
was an effective stunt.
It was so effective, right? But then you had people.
This is the part that was clipped out. That's why that little audio sounded funny just now. You see a little skip in it.
Arguing, okay, this was race baiting. This little black boy shouldn't have been used as a prop. And I'm like, are y'all
He's black?
Whatever, he's a person of color,
No,
obviously.
okay.
So
Yeah.
I don't know his exact ethnicity. But when I saw that,
his head was.
This is the 92% for you. Like, if they don't like something you do, you're not black no more. Like, who's saying he's not black, bro? Like, why is this little boy getting so much beef from a grown woman, bro? And like, have you seen her with all that like fake hair in her head? She's like, she has less hair than him with all that fake hair in her head. Like, come on now. Like, come on.
Happy.
His head was not nappy at all. It wasn't.
He was black.
the dad,
You think he was black?
His dad was black.
Yeah,
His dad was holding him up. I don't know if that was his dad, but yeah, it
Not
seemed
that
like that was
that
his
matters. I
dad.
just don't think little boy is
Yeah, he
black.
was
His dad
black.
was-
If it didn't matter, why would you bring it up? Like, this isn't the first time that she's attacking somebody with cancer either. She even went after Chadwick Boseman at one point. Black Panther, she even went after him at one point, and now she's going after someone else. Like, come on.
I mean, it was patchy, but it wasn't nappy.
well, it was
Very effective.
not only was it a good moment, but I think it made people, and I think to Trump's, like, what they were trying to do, and he is so good at what he does, and he does it so subtly, it made people start arguing about all the wrong stuff. I'm like, how are y'all upset?
He's a master at it.
Yeah, how are y'all upset that this little boy, this is one of his dreams. He wanted to be a police officer, you know what I mean?
But why do we call it a stunt?
I'll say it. It was a stunt, and Trump is good at this. He's good at getting like the 80% of the stuff that people agree with. Like, let's say 80% of the population is on one side. Trump is good at saying, hey, yo, 80% is on this side. I'm on this side too. This is the side I like. That makes the more sense. And the Democrat will go the opposite with only the 20% of people are on. Like, Trump is like a genius. He's like, yo, this don't make sense. That's not what the F. This part makes sense better. And then everybody that hates him goes to the other side, and then they lose people like, bro, you really support that because of what now? And they're like, oh, because Trump said this. I'm like, so because Trump said this, you're against it? Like, really? Let's continue though.
Like, he might have really wanted to do that. That might not have been a stunt because
It's definitely a stunt.
made a stunt.
They do it on both
Trump's
sides
thing.
too.
What are you
Don't get me
talking about?
wrong. At the
Yeah,
State of the
they do
Union
it. That's
address,
what you
they
do
do
at
it
the
on
State
both
of the Union.
sides.
Yeah, a stunt
a
makes
stunt.
it feel like it wasn't heart coming from the heart.
It can
Like it
still
was
come from the
malicious or
heart.
something with some type of different intent.
That's right.
Like, yeah.
It
wanted
was
to
a
give
stunt.
that boy a wish.
You know what he did? It for this. For us to be having this conversation right here. It's effective. That's why it's a stunt.
Yeah. Well,
There was a few of those he did yesterday.
The trans one. Was that a stunt?
Which one?
Absolutely not. That is
I
very
think it was
much
the volleyball
real.
player.
Bro, the whole trans mice issue I think he's talking about, or the women or the trans women in sports, like Trump is good at picking the side that like makes the most sense and that everybody, that the majority of the people agree with. And then Democrats, because they don't really have a platform, it's just whatever Trump say, it's wrong. No matter what, whatever Trump say, it's wrong. But what do you stand for? The working class. Well, the working class don't stand with you, so who are you standing for? Oh, that's how the Democrats are right now. They don't realize they lost the people, and they're trying to say, we're for the people. And the people like, you're not doing anything we want you to do.
It was a good moment that identified as a stunt.
Okay. Well, so here's one of the conversations that I wanted to get into about this as well. Is like, y'all are arguing about that, but the real tea here is that if we have a conversation about some of the stuff that Trump has been dismantling, some of the efforts to find cures for cancer and other deadly disorders and diseases is on that list. But
Yo, if you agree with her, drop a source that proves that in the down below, because CNN, MSNBC are saying, "Oh, Trump is cutting Trump is cutting funds to help people do research for cancer," and I'm like, is he really cutting funds for that particular thing, or is he cutting funds for a particular organization? And like 1% of their efforts goes to that. Like, come on now. He's cutting, like, he did a lot of cuts to USAID. I'm not saying USAID because they're not really giving aid. It seems like if you see some of the stuff they're giving money to, it's like a money laundering scheme. They give it like some weird name, and I'm like, is it really going to an Afghani Sesame Street, or is it going to Afghanistan? And then they're like, yeah, we're just gonna buy weapons with these. Like, is it really going to like whatever research thing they're saying, or is it like no one's gonna really look into it? We could just build the government and they're just gonna pay it. Like, if you haven't did like any research or like look any of this stuff up, the U.S. government would like, you would send them a bill or an invoice and they just paid it. They did not look into it, or like, you don't have no reason. They just paid it. And I'm like, yo, where's the oversight? Who's in charge of this budget? And you're wondering why the economy's effed up so badly. But someone show me proof that what she say that Trump is cutting funding directly for cancer research. And I don't want to see them say, well, Trump is not cutting funding directly for cancer research. He's cutting this funding for this particular group. And sometimes, very rarely, they do cancer research. Like, come on, prove me wrong now.
Giving this little boy this badge and you're wanting him to have this full life, but you no longer want to help him figure out the reason why he's been able to be here this long, despite what doctor said to him. So I thought that, I'm like, wow, that went over people's head. I don't know how, but it did. I thought that, I'm like, wow, that went over people's head. I don't know how, but it did.
See, my particular reason or particular issue with the Breakfast Club is I don't feel like they're genuine. I feel like they're Democrat actors. If they're not Democrat actors, paid Democrat propagandists, I'm like, do they actually believe the things they're saying? And I'm like, why would you believe the stuff that you're saying when it can easily be proven false? Like, why would you say, oh, a CNN, MSNBC talking point, they're cutting funding to cancer research when what? Like, if you put an article down there, I'll admit it, I'm wrong, but I haven't seen it. I did the research, I looked it up, and it's like all the CNN and MSNBC and like people that like news organizations that oppose Trump, no one's really saying this. So I'm like, is Trump really doing this, or they're just trying to get this message out there so people are against him? Another thing is, how hateful do you gotta be against someone where they're giving an award to a child with cancer? You just sit down, me-mongering like. But when they brought up aid to Ukraine, they went crazy.
With no end in sight, the United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense, with no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes. $2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that.
They went crazy. Like Trump said, oh, I bet y'all want that war in Ukraine to continue. Yeah, I'm like, How did y'all fall for that? It's like someone go, hood, you move, and they're like, hop, bye. They fell for the okie doke. I'm like, bruh, Trump is a genius, bruh. Y'all think Trump and Elon Musk are dumb? Like, go ahead, think that, and you're gonna continue to lose. Keep just thinking, oh, my opponent is retarded, my opponent is dumb, the person I don't like is dumb or something, whatever. Keep thinking that, and you're gonna lose. Underestimating your opponent is gonna be why you're like, wait, why does everybody want to vote for Trump versus Kamala? Kamala, oh, she a black woman. Kamala, oh, she part of like HBCU, blah, blah, blah. Why are black men not wanting to support her? I'm like, isn't she Indian? Everyone was like, oh my goodness, that's racist. I'm like, this is why the Democrats will always lose. They think they know better, and they think they're better than everyone else. And they don't really care what the people want. They're just telling you, this is what's right, and you gotta vote for it unless you're a daggone fascist, unless you're daggone a sexist, unless you're daggone a racist. If you don't vote for what the Democrats want, you're a fascist, sexist, and racist, and you hate your mom. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just not gonna have this conversation with you. That's what a lot of people is doing. Like, oh, this is how you're gonna act. Just not gonna talk to you. Just not gonna like have a conversation with you. And you know how they made the daggone commercials about, oh, your husband don't need to know who you voted for. Oh, when you're in the voting booth, you're by yourself. That goes both ways. Like people, I feel like a lot more liberals were around, or a lot more people that say they're liberals or have them friends that are Democrats. When their Democrat friends are around, like, yeah, bro, you're right, yeah, or that argue with them, it's like, okay. But when they're going to tell them, like, bro, he don't know what the f he's talking about. I'm voting for Trump. Cause y'all think y'all right. Y'all think y'all like on the right side of history. Y'all think y'all are just so high and mighty, and people are just like, you know what? I don't really care. I'm just gonna do what I gotta do so we don't have to argue or whatever, because you're not gonna want to listen to any other point that disagrees with what you say. And then they're like, oh, I'm right. They didn't argue back. And then when you're like, oh, how did we lose the vote? How's the majority of the country on his side? Why did Joe Biden get like 20 more million or 10 more million than Kamala? We're not gonna question that though. But low key, one of the best things for Trump is that he lost that 2020 election, because now everyone got to see it for themselves. Everyone got to see it. Hey, yo, this liberal policy, this progressive policy don't work. It's crazy and it's failing. And the whole economy, the economy was propped up by government jobs that no one wanted to talk about. Like they're trying to say the job report. Oh, we created this many jobs. A month later, actually, we created like less jobs, but we're not gonna tell you. How come the announcement the first time is not as loud? How come the correction is not as loud as the first announcement? Like, that's crazy to me. But like, Democrats keep doing this, keep showing y'all true colors. The 92, this is who you're gonna claim? Y'all gonna claim her? That's how y'all is. Like, keep doing this evil stuff and let everyone know who you really are, because it's gonna be a lot easier during the midterm. Y'all probably not gonna win the next presidential election again if y'all gonna keep doing stuff like that. And you have Governor Newsom. If y'all want me to make a video about Newsom with Charlie Kirk, I will, but just let me know, or let me know what type of video you want me to make in general, and I'll try to see what I can do. Hey, just let me know. But if that's who y'all want to support, if that's how y'all want to support, y'all gonna realize nobody's on your side. You're on the wrong side of history. That's all I got for y'all today. Hey, yo, I'm out.
And we're out of here like a screaming herd of turtles.